Corridor between Azerbaijan and Nakhchivan worries Tehran. Iran, a crossroads in trade between Turkish countries, may lose this feature. Azerbaijan, which won victory after 6 weeks of fighting against Armenian forces in Nagorno-Karabakh, now controls all of its territory on the border with Iran. Moreover, thanks to the agreement he signed with Armenia, he also promised to establish a land corridor with Nakhchivan, a land located on the border with Turkey that has no connection with the rest of the country. Although the Azeri population in northern Iran showed joy in the face of this development, this corridor was met with anxiety in Tehran. The reason for this is that the trade between Azerbaijan and Nakhchivan has been carried out through Iran for 30 years. In this way, Iran had political influence over Azerbaijan and made money from this trade. Iran's energy risks. According to the conservative Mashreq website, which publishes in Iran, the corridor will have more than one negative geopolitical impact on Iran. Mashreq reviewed them in 6 titles. Azerbaijan gave 15% of the gas it sent to Nakhchivan through Iran to Iran as a commission. Iran signed a gas sales agreement with Turkey in 1996. Because of this agreement, Turkey has been buying expensive gas from Iran for years. Turkey pays Iran $490 per 1,000 cubic meters, while it can buy Azeri gas for $335. If a gas line from Azerbaijan to Turkey is laid through this corridor in the future, Iran's gas loss could be large. The pipeline project, which was planned to run from Turkmenistan to Turkey via Iran, was frozen in 2017 due to financial disputes. Turkmenistan can now deliver this gas to Turkey via Azerbaijan. The importance of Iran's pipeline to Armenia has also diminished. The Uzbek Trans-Caspian pipeline project could be back on the agenda. This pipeline, which will run from Turkmenbashi, the capital of Turkmenistan, to Azerbaijan, can be delivered to Europe via existing pipelines between Azerbaijan, Georgia and Turkey. More obstacles will lie ahead of the pipeline project, which is planned to carry gas from Iran to Europe. Iranian media have suggested that Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Israel are planning an invasion of Armenia's territory on the Iranian border, but this cannot happen because of Iran's presence in the region, and instead the idea of a corridor has been returned. Trade route between Turkey and Central Asia may change. Iran is currently key in the road trade from Turkey to Central Asia. According to 2020 data of the Iranian Ministry of Roads and Transport, this year, despite the impact of coronavirus on trade, about 12,000 Turkish trucks cross the Iran-Turkey border every month, and a significant part of them travel to the Turkic republics and Afghanistan. This trade is very profitable for Iran. A truck entering from Turkey and leaving the border with Turkmenistan pays about $700 to $800 in transit fees to Iran for this 1,800-kilometer road. The corridor that will be opened in Armenia can significantly reduce this traffic. Rail transport prospect. After entering Nakhchivan from Yerevan, the capital of Armenia, the railway built during the Russian Empire crosses the Nakhchivan-Iran border and connects to Azerbaijan through the Armenian corridor. This railroad has been dormant for years because of the war. Iran hopes to reach Armenia by rail through Nakhchivan when this railway becomes operational again. Although the two countries had a land border, there was no railway line crossing this border. So Iran sees the prospect of increased trade over this rail as one of the rare things that could be in its interest in the deal. Iran had signed a comprehensive trade agreement with the Eurasian Economic Union in 2018. The agreement signed with this economic union, consisting of Armenia, Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Russia, will enter into full force in 2021. Turkey, on the other hand, aims to extend cars to Azerbaijan and Central Asia via the Armenian corridor with a new railway connecting cars to Nakhchivan. In Iran, the conservative Tasnim agency says Turkey aims to increase its influence in the region through this. Armenia also aims to increase trade through rail trade. Armenia's railway connections with Turkey and Azerbaijan, which could not be connected to Iran by rail through Nakhchivan due to the war, were also dormant for the same reason. The only railway that could connect Armenia to the world was through Georgia to Russia. But Abkhazia, located in the region through which this railway passes, declared its independence with the support of Russia. Because Georgia does not trade with this region, which only Russia, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Syria, and several Pacific islands recognize its independence, Armenian trains cannot pass from there to Russia. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, who made a statement on the issue, said that they hope to trade with Russia through Azerbaijan and Iran through Nakhchivan. This could be a turning point. But these are issues that will be discussed in the negotiations. We do not know in advance whether they will be implemented. Trade growth in border towns. He believes that the benefit of opening Iran's railway connection to Armenia, as well as the reconstruction of Azerbaijani settlements on the Iranian border that it has taken back from Armenian control, will increase trade with the north of Iran. Iran is considering opening new customs gates at this border. The importance of Iran's borders cannot be reduced by a small corridor that will open in Armenia, the official IRNA agency said. Iran's active involvement in the region can provide more interest to both Iran and Azerbaijan, he says. Geopolitics, Turkey's growing influence in the Caucasus. Turkey's growing role in the South Caucasus and the deployment of Russian peacekeepers in the region are other reasons that have raised alarm bells for Iran. Although Iran, which sees Russia as its partner, is less concerned about this second phenomenon, it is not easy for Tehran to accept the growing Turkish influence in the Caucasus. Turkey is trying to reduce Russia's influence in the region, targeting geopolitical, economic and energy interests, says the conservative Javan newspaper, closely associated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, in an analysis examining Turkey's role in the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. Turkey's approach is broadly in line with the U.S. strategy of restricting Russia. It is not a wise approach to violate Iran's geopolitical interests by establishing a new corridor. Iran will not tolerate these initiatives by Turkey and Azerbaijan and will not accept this corridor. Speaking at the opening of parliament in Iran, Deputy Mahmoud Ahmadi Bighash suggested that Turkey has changed the political map in the region, paving the way for NATO, Israel, and the United States to reach the Caspian Sea. Thank you for listening to the news from Haybart V.